Yes, sir. Full Circle Wealth coming at you guys with the Wealth Wednesday stream, man. Uh, let's get it started. Let me make sure that we can hear each other. Oh, yeah.
Hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, hear you too. Yes, sir. We don't gotta go through no technical difficulties like we did last time, man.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man.
We is locked in. We is locked in. Flask, how you feeling today, bro?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling real wealthy, man. Come on, man. Let's get to it.
How the week been, man? How the week been for you, man?
Bro, I'm not. Is this live? Are you recording actually?
Oh yeah, no, we live.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been feeling good, man. Been good weekend. Monday went by super fast, I'm not gonna lie. Tuesday. Tuesday was slow. All yesterday, bro, I went to work on I picked up a shift. Man, I was there all day, man. It was feeling like no. How you doing though?
I thought you
How's
was
the week
how
treating you,
long
man?
was you at the job yesterday? I thought you was about to tell me how long you was about to be, how long you was
Oh
there.
shit, yeah, you right. 12 hours, gang. I ain't did a 12 in I don't know how long.
Nah, I hear that, man. I hear that, man. When you ain't used to the 12, it's the 12. I got the 12 tomorrow. I got two 12s and two 8s, man. I got that tomorrow, and the two 12s they killing me.
Man,
The 8s feel like
it
eight
get like
hours
that.
feel like nothing if I'm being real.
Right.
But a 12 hour is
Walking
just
apart.
yeah. 12 hours different, but nah, man. Yeah, nah. I'm yeah. It's been a good week, man. It's been a good week so far, man. I've been looking forward to Wealth Wednesdays, man. So I'm excited for the conversation that we got. We got some good topics. You know, we both went in hard, and we came prepared for you guys today. So let's get into it, man. Um, First things first, man. We could talk about the SPY and Bitcoin, man. We could put the SPY. Matter of fact, let me put the SPY and Bitcoin chart side by side because I can do that in Trading View. But before we get into that, man, I guess let's do it. Quick introduction of. Oh man, I got the basic. I can't even do it. But what we do here on Wealth Wednesdays, man, we about to discuss high level topics, man. You got Flask and I, this is the full circle wealth. Get beginners in the stocks and crypto, man. We talk about the financial markets, and every Wednesday we get here and we level up, right? We level up together, man. Flash, you got anything you want to say before we kick the whole thing off, man?
Yeah, man, coming at you with another one Wednesdays, man. We're doing it how we did it last week, man. Getting, same criteria. It's a very informative video, right? Breaking down multiple topics, man, and this is what we're starting with. Let's do it.
Bad. Let me see. Now the camera want to act. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. All right, bet. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's first take a.
Let's do it.
Let me get about the full screen right here.
Yeah,
Oh, was that the stream? That's us.
yeah, just making sure it was ooh wow.
Yeah, good looking, man. I was gonna make sure too when I was gonna pull my phone out, but oh, look at me now. I'm not even blurry no more. I don't know what happened. Hey, but let's get into it, man. You know, we got the SPY chart right here. We got the S&P 500, man. As always, if you guys don't know what the S&P 500 is, right, this is the top 500 publicly traded companies on the market, man. This is the makeup of the market. The reason why we look at the S&P 500 is because when the S&P 500 is going down, right, majority of the stocks that we know are going down, right? The S&P 500 is basically the gauge of the market. So today, right, we end up having a down day after a few days of going straight up, man.
Right.
Flask, man. You've been seeing. I know you've been seeing the charts. I know you've been seeing the all-time highs we've been making, man. I want you to tell me how you've been feeling about the markets, man.
Honestly, man, I was tired of this stuff going up, man. We was having too good of a days, man, to the point where it's like can't even. A lot of people aren't even trading. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to the point where like when are we gonna have that down day? So I'm glad that today was that day.
Yeah,
There's a
for
lot of money
sure.
to be made on both directions of the market, right? And so what goes up must come down, vice versa. What goes down must come up. So yeah,
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that, man. I was waiting for a down day. I've been looking forward to it, man, because, you know, it's you need those balances in the market, right? I got kind of tired of seeing green every day because I know that at some point I'm gonna see red, so I'm waiting on the red, right? But I'm
right.
taking advantage of those green days. So, yeah, like we had the high that we just hit of 663. I mean, there was just plenty of times 667. I'm sorry, so we're close to that 670. But there's been plenty of times where I just thought I knew the market was gonna have a pullback, and it just kept rising. So market has been surprising me, man. It's been surprising me like crazy. But we getting our pullback. Let's see how long it lasts. But it was dope to see a breather. Um, on top of that, right? I also want to touch on um, the fact that Bitcoin. So we see that SP 500 is having their pullback today, right? But I want to mention the fact that Bitcoin, and I'm not really too sure how the other cryptos have been looking, but Bitcoin has been going on a pullback for it's been a minute now. It look like their pullback started around
Yeah.
the end of August, right? And we're now just seeing that pullback to SP 500. So something that you always talk about that I would want you to talk about today on stream is the fact that you always tell me that you know Bitcoin moves first, and then all the other assets follow. And I agree, and I definitely see that happening in the markets. So just break that down for the people that understand or don't understand.
Yeah, man. Crypto moves first, and then it's the stocks, and then after that, it's the altcoins. After that, so after the stocks, so we're seeing it finally pay out with the stocks, man. You said the pullback. I'm looking at the chart too. The pullback was what day? What day was that? We started it. We
For
coming
for
up.
for Bitcoin,
Yeah, for Bitcoin.
they had a they
I'm on
had
the
a
hourly
yeah, they had a big pullback. If I'm looking on the daily, it looks like August
on
13th.
Thursday,
But on Thursday, yep,
August 18th or September 18th. Damn. So
yeah.
how far are you out? What time frame are you on?
So I'm on the
You on the daily?
daily. I'm on the daily, but I was just looking at
Yeah,
I was just looking at a mate like the earliest pullback that I saw,
you're
uh
right.
which was that Thursday, August 14th. Um, so it seems to me that I haven't really been paying attention to crypto too much, but the way we were expecting the September down market and the August down market, it seems that crypto had that, and now
Yeah, we're
stocks.
kind of sitting like in the middle ground right now.
Yeah, so maybe I wouldn't be surprised if stocks follow suit and they end up because like you said, man, the stocks do follow crypto. The stocks do move slower than crypto does. That's not something that's new and a surprise. So I wouldn't be surprised if they had that move down to the downside. And this is just a good way to be able to kind of
Yeah.
predict what's going on in the markets or just have a good eye of how to be prepared because if you know that stocks follow Bitcoin, right, and altcoins, um, you can definitely be prepared. You can definitely be prepared.
Right.
You want me to pull up a specific chart up? You want to look at anything specific?
Let me see. Let me see before I answer that.
Yep, yep, yep.
I think one of the reasons why Bitcoin is down so far as well, and why we actually had a down day yesterday, or just this week. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, BlackRock had sold like 3 million, 300 million worth of uh, Bitcoin ETFs, which caused the price to go down specifically this week. I don't know if that was today or yesterday. I seen it this morning on was on X,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was specifically today or this week. Their SPY ETF was back in May 2025, and so they just sold all of their. They just sold that ETF position. Let me see the a good chart though. What would you gonna say?
Um, I think to validate what you're saying is that there's an update here on TradingView saying the whales sold 147,000 Bitcoin last month, raising seller pressure on Bitcoin. Um,
Mm,
so that's also something that could have to do with what you was just saying.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say see if there was any specific uh, cryptos, but there's not. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of these charts look a little bit of the same. Flare is up actually. We are at not all time highs, but for this period, we're pretty high. Excuse me. Currently sitting at 0.027, so it's still 2 cent, but we're climbing from where we were earlier in the let me go back to the hour time frame.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Flare looks like it's at a prime like resistance spot.
Yep.
It looks like if Flare could break this, it looked like you got the percentage to you got
To the moon, huh?
yeah. So if Flare break this, it looked like another 37% to the next little like resistance level.
Yeah.
Oh, and then so Flares. I didn't realize how high Flare's been before. If you want to get all the way to the high, you're looking at 100%er.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are waiting for too, because it hasn't really had its big like outbreak. Like when we had that big burst from, I think it was like 80,000. Remember we was in what was that, like April, May?
Yeah.
We had that big burst of from Bitcoin, and we hit all the way to like 100,000. Flare hasn't had that yet, so that's what
Mm-hmm.
me and my wallet is waiting for. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, you get a good bang for the buck copping Flare. And I remember you. So what is Flare? I forgot exactly what Flare does again, but I know it's connected with XRP though.
Yeah, man. So Flare is pretty much a bridge for XRP to other cryptos and vice versa. So you can take your XRP, your Bitcoin, your Doge, your I think that's it currently right now. But you can take those specific cryptos and then you can wrap them with, it's called Flare or wrapped, whatever the asset is. It's called Flare assets. So yeah, pretty much you take your asset, you wrap it, and then you can be into the DeFi world now. So Flare has its own ecosystem where you can have NFTs, right? Play games, all of that. It's a full DeFi platform that allows you to use within the platform, right? So I can take XRP, wrap it, and now it's Flare XRP, wrapped Flare XRP. Now I can go buy an NFT like a bare bones with Flare or my wrapped XRP, which is now Flare asset. So that's what they do. They're a bridge company that allows, not a company, but they're a crypto that allows you to take your said crypto, wrap it, and use it in the DeFi world.
Solid, solid. So they help use that. They help with utilization, even more utilization.
Right.
Nice,
Absolutely.
nice
Also,
man.
just want to quick mention real quick that I'm looking at the stats, and on the 6 month, Flare is up 100%.
Oh,
So,
nice.
say you would have bought
Oh, I see that too
in
right here.
March or April, which when it was a penny, you would have been up a couple bucks, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's just in 6 months, 100%. So,
Nah,
yeah,
that's a great return. That's a great return, and it's a
absolutely.
utility coin. Yeah, no, that's a good coin right there. That's a good coin. Copy you some flair. Copy you some flair, man.
Absolutely.
Let me take a look at SoFi, man. I talk about SoFi's chart every week, man.
Yeah.
We finally had our down day today, man. I got a play in an options play, man. I got an options call in right now. A couple of them, you know, it's along with my shares. So my portfolio looking kind of red today. Um, we finally had our red day, but you know, they took a breather, just like we was talking about with SPY. You know, it's important, you know, that you know these stocks, and we take a breather when we hit all time highs. It gives opportunity, right, and it balances out the market. So we dropped 5% today, um, but you know, I ain't
I see
panicking.
that.
I ain't panicking.
Right.
Let me see. Let me see what I think they. If when we have our pullback, I truly think that I think I had it on the hour time frame. Oh, I don't got my stuff here, but it was this right here. That's what it was. So I had already expected us to pull back. I had my target going. I have us going all the way down to 28.18. But if we get past that, man, I see us, you know, maybe hitting the bounce at 20, 25, 26. If we go down that far. Because the thing about the pullback is, um, I don't know if we can expect a pullback as deep as what we saw before, right? So I know like
Yeah.
I know a pullback's gonna happen, but I personally don't think we get the deepest pullback. I think we get a little breather and then we run right back up, and you know I think that's what we're gonna do all year till until about. I really think that's what we might do until the end of the year. We have our pullbacks, but our little mini pullbacks. But I think we just gonna run up for the most part and pull back, run up for the most part. Um, so yeah, man. Along with SoFi, man. Nvidia. Oh, okay, boom. Now, along with Nvidia stock, that's gonna be our next topic, man. So, Nvidia stock, man, they recently just hit a high of 184. You see that green, that big green red, that big green candle. That was Monday, the September 22nd, right? And that big green candle was the announcement of Nvidia's partnership with OpenAI, bro. So did you see that at all, man? You see Nvidia and
I did see
OpenAI
that a little bit.
$100 billion partnership, right? So Nvidia
Yeah.
partnered with OpenAI so that they can build a 10 gigawatt, just a 10 gigawatt facility to power um, OpenAI, just of Nvidia's chips, right? I'm not really totally sure what this facility is gonna do, but I just know that you know it's powering up. It's power for OpenAI's products, right? So they could just go and do that. So 10 gigawatts, man. I did some research on it to find out how much 10 gigawatts really is, man. Five. So you know how big the Hoover Dam is? You ever heard of the Hoover Dam?
Yeah, I know the concept, but I don't know how big the Hoover Dam is.
Yeah, me neither. But so I guess so 10 gigawatts is compared to five Hoover dams worth of power. And then on top of that, to put it in more perspective, so this is the same 10 gigawatts is the same as it could run 1 million U.S. homes for a year. So 10 gigawatts could run 1 million U.S. homes for an entire year. And then here's another comparison.
Yeah, man.
It's the
This is
same.
crazy.
It's the same as charging 120 million Tesla Model 3 batteries, right? So this is all just for AI. Like they're creating this much. They need this much power for AI. Man, we already know where our world is going to. We know how big this is gonna be. I mean, $100 billion is $100 billion, but when you put the power and how much power it is in perspective, that really shows you what they're really trying to do. So, you know,
Right.
it's the perfect people too. I mean, these are the powerhouses in the AI game. You got Nvidia, who's the hardware powerhouse, right? So none of this stuff operates, and no AI operates without Nvidia's chips, right? No AI could operate the best without Nvidia's chips for the hardware, right? So, and then you got OpenAI, which is arguably the best software with their ChatGPT, man. So you got those two compared, right? You got the software and the chip to make the hardware run compatibly with the software at the best efficient rate, man, that's looking like it's looking like we're no longer gonna have no smart devices, man. We're going to true AI devices, man.
Right.
My question to you, man, is: would you trust an AI device in your home to make decisions for you?
Make decisions for me. That's low key crazy, but I hear it. Low key, if I'm being completely honest, if it has something to do with another like a huge company like this, then maybe not, right? Because this is gonna be like on a wide scale thing. So both of these companies even having the power and ability to control my home in a flip of a switch, right, is a no go. So in that case, I would be using my own type of system, right? If I was, I am very capable, but I'm saying in this scenario, if I was capable of making my own system, AI system of any capacity, then I would be implementing that in my house, right? Rather than using, you know, billionaire, just like you were saying, these powerhouse companies to run my home. I would do that on my own. What about you? How you feeling about that?
Um, I agree, man. I agree, man. I would probably still probably use these guys and go through their company at a smaller scale.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I thought about creating my own system, but I definitely
yeah,
that's something that would hit my mind down the line. Um, but I wouldn't mind using it to an extent. Obviously, we always gotta be safe
yeah.
because that is data that they get. But I wouldn't mind using it as to an extent to just see and just get a feel for the product, right? Because I just want to know how the product works if two great companies made that product. But I definitely understand your stance because this is more than just having access to your phone data now. Now we're having access to my home, my refrigerator. You could cut off my food if you
Right,
wanted to. You know what I'm saying? You
right.
can
Turn
you
his
can
TV off.
you can leave the door unlocked at 4 a.m. if somebody hacked you to do so and come inside the house real quick, right? So there's definitely uh, a few things to be concerned about. So I definitely see your route. I definitely see your route. How do you feel about?
Can we talk about?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead, my fault.
Nah,
No,
nah.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say real quick how this is like such a power move for Nvidia, right? Like you know how you remember when we were talking about um, was it Uber taking the market of autonomous driving? This is
Mm-hmm.
exactly what Nvidia is doing when it comes to these chips, right? Because there's obviously other semiconductor companies, but them getting the AI contract is like, what I'm saying, that's been moving the needle, just like the Apple phone, right? Like with the Siri, this is top tier,
Yeah,
and so them
nah.
just having this chess move play out like that, and them being, what I'm saying, it's like a rook move.
Yeah, it definitely is. I was gonna compare it to the Apple iPhone as well. You just reminded me. Like this is definitely Nvidia is stamping themselves as the what's bigger than the top dog? Like what's bigger than the top dog
Shit,
in the in that AI space? I mean, um, I don't have the word for it right
ones you
now,
don't see.
but Nvidia is really stamping themselves as the top dog in the sense of like
Right,
you 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 won't have any other choice but to work with us, right? Because
right,
our product is just that good, and that's what it was with Apple iPhone. You won't have any choice but to work with us, stay with us, buy us, because our product is still that good. And when it comes down to this AI space, Nvidia is stamped. They're all around. They created the chips. Now they're going to be a part of uh, open. Not only did they create the chips for OpenAI to be powered, but now they're going to be a part of OpenAI's whole company and be more than a part of ChatGPT. Now they're going to be a part of OpenAI, whatever they have. I don't even want to assume what they have coming out along the line, but they're going to be a part of it for sure. So that's definitely a good a good and that's a great move with Nvidia, like you said, a rook move, man. But also that's a great it's great for investors as well because we benefit from that because we know Nvidia that's just going to be something that it's they're putting themselves in a position where they have no choice but have recurring revenue, and
Right.
that has that they're just giving us more and more reasons as to why the stock is going to continue to grow, right? Uh, and this is what it's like to look at a great company. All the great companies, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Google, even Meta, right? They all give us more and more reasons as to why they're going to continue to grow because they grow the company. So this is a good example, man. So buy you some Nvidia, man. We've been talking about it for a minute. Like Nvidia been less than $100, $100. Like this is the greatest stock you could grab on the market for the price. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we sitting at 176 right now, man.
Yeah, man.
176. Recently hitting the lows of this month is 165.
Yeah,
So
Nvidia,
just
man.
just getting in this month.
Yeah, they changing our lives, man. They changing our whole trajectory of the future, man. So how are you? So when my next question to you is, man, when they come out with that phone, how much time are you gonna give it until you ditch the Apple iPhone?
See, and that's the thing too, because we were just talking about that as well. If it comes to a point where we're doing things that are better than, um, we're doing things that are better than what the Apple is doing, like Siri, right? Like if they threw the Siri out and came with OpenAI, then obviously bang. But that doesn't look like that's gonna happen because we haven't heard anything between Apple and Nvidia ever, right? So they're if if Nvidia and OpenAI come out with a phone, man, how long will I give it until? Yeah, I need to see dramatic. You know what I'm saying? Not dramatic, but it needs to be something that's a lot better than the Apple phone, right? Because we're to the point where, you know what I'm saying, who is really going to take over this market first? Because we got Apple Intelligence. That's not really the same thing as AI, right? That's Apple Intelligence. We're talking about OpenAI, actually. So the pinnacle of artificial intelligence. So it's like, I think I would, it would need it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm being like one of them follower type dudes, man. I gotta see a lot of other people with it, have their mixed reviews and opinions before I go pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? It gotta make sense in every capacity.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
What
I hear
about
that.
you?
Um, I'm the same way, man. I want to say honestly, the way if it's looking the way I want it to look, I'm ditching it right away for sure. I'll be the person that gives you the recommendation on whether or not it's worth grabbing. Um,
Yeah,
but if it's not looking the way that I think it, not even hardware wise, but if it's not having the features such as, you know, um, AI is able to be incorporated and do certain things for me, and just is able to be an agent within the phone. I'm not saying it needs to be top tier, but I am saying that it should be just work way better than Siri. Um,
right.
if I can't have that and it don't look neat hardware wise, I don't want it. But if it does, man, and it checks out, I'm grabbing it. I'm grabbing it. I'm waiting outside the line. And I'm in a tent. I'm camping out.
Yeah, for real.
I'm camping out.
I do feel that.
Yeah, bro. So right here, I just wanted to bring up some key points before we move on to the next topic about the $100 billion AI deal, open AI deal. So the whole point is to build artificial intelligence labs, um, and build hundreds of $1 billion of in data and put hundreds of billions of dollars into data centers, right? So Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang told CNBC that the 10 gigawatt project with OpenAI is equivalent to 4 million and 5 million graphic processing units. Huang said that's about what Nvidia will ship this year and twice as much as last year. Man. So they're going all out for this. They're going all out for this.
Right. And it sounded like, bro, Apple's gonna get left in the dust, man. It sounded like, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing that I didn't realize is what you just said about them building factories, right? They're building a factory for this data to be sanctioned at. Wow, I don't know about Apple's factories, right? Like they're more consumer based and not necessarily like they're not like infrastructure based. They're more of what we can we sell to the consumer rather than like longevity, right? Because now we're on the 17th iPhone that look the damn same as they did last year. You know what I'm saying? And doing the same type of shit. So yeah, I didn't even look at it like that. Like the fact that they're kind of like obviously they're both have big parts in the tech industry, and so I just never really realized what part of the market Apple captures over Nvidia or vice versa.
Facts,
That's just kind
facts,
of
facts.
that's just kind of wild.
Um, my bad, real quick. My bad. Next I wanted to talk about this, right? So I see that new home sales soared 20% in August to a 3-year high, man. So along with the markets going up financially in the well, this is the financial markets. It can be, but yeah, along with the stock and crypto markets going up, we got the housing markets going up, man, hitting an all-time high. So three new home sales soared 20% in August to a 3-year high. Sales of newly built homes rose a much larger than expected 20.5% in August compared with July. That's despite mortgage rates that are higher than they are today. The median price of a new home sold in August was 413,000. Since we've been alive, all I've known is an expensive house, man. House has always been
Right.
expensive to us, so I don't know what is a cheap home per se, right? But this had just got me thinking, and it was just something to talk about along with the financial markets, with everything being at an all time high. Um, but let's dream for a second. So I had this question, not only for you but for the community as well. If you guys drop your question, drop your answer down in the comments, right? So if money was not a factor, man, where would your dream home be located? Right? Are you going a city penthouse? Are you going a beach villa, a mountain cabin? However you doing it, man, let me know.
Not gonna lie, I have lived a chaotic life currently, right? In this dream still, right? Nah, not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna go somewhere secluded, right? With acres in the back, right? Like I lived in the city, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never lived on no beach, right? Or in no mountain cabin. So I would live in like a good mixture between like, uh, if I live 40, 50 minutes out of the city, right? It doesn't need to be in the mountain, but just secluded somewhere that unreachable.
Yeah, nah, I like I
Yeah,
like that.
that's
That's
my vibe.
you got a specific state in mind, a country in mind already, or is that
Yeah,
what you got?
low key, I want to go to a place that is very similar to out here. I want all 4 seasons. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like Wyoming, right? I'm thinking Montana, Idaho, places like that. Really, Idaho is my top tier. They got it's very scenic as well as what I'm saying, cold. Just like just it's still out here in on the in the Pacific Northwest, but I think yeah, Idaho's my go-to. Build a house. How you feeling?
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
What about you? You penthouse guy?
City penthouse, highest floor. I don't really have a specific city in my mind, but honestly, before I go to a different city, I would just say I'd like to have that experience here at home in Seattle, man. Um, City penthouse, a beach villa. If it wasn't, I'd say city penthouse for like a couple years, and then after that, hit him up with a beach villa. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't really think I'm not really too much of a house type of guy. At least right now. At least right now, you know what I'm saying. I just want a nice
yeah,
home, nice apartment, and see what's up. But Wyoming, I see the vision for sure because they be having the big old ranches out there. I know Kanye West had a ranch in Wyoming. And it's just all you can do so much with that. And land is the biggest thing. Land is probably the best asset you can have, truth be told. So you can do a lot with that.
Right. So even to restructure it like this, you know what I'm saying? Is it the housing that's going up, or is it the land?
Mm. And you know what?
Mm,
You know what, man? It's gotta be the land because it's not like the houses are getting any more valuable.
right.
It's the land becoming more valuable.
Kind
I
of like
mean,
the location.
yeah, location and land. So if you got the right land in the right location, I mean, those prices is soaring up. It's no longer that
Top tier.
you can't get a prime piece of land in a prime location for a good price no more, man. Um, a good price is gonna be a good price, but it's gonna be relative because it's still a high price.
Right.
Yeah, man. So
Right.
yeah, let me read down a little bit. Let me read this a little bit. Let's see if a few key points. See what we might get that. We were respecting a gain, but not that large. So people weren't. You know, I think who this affects really, and what we could talk about is the fact that a lot of older folks who are looking to buy homes. Like all we know is expensive homes, but I'm sure we've heard plenty of family members and other peers that we know older than us, they say it's dang near impossible, especially us in Seattle. I mean, we're top 10 most expensive cities in the world. So, especially when it comes down to buying a home, I mean, I think the most on a median level, it's like 700, almost 800K for a home. So this is definitely the type of people they affect. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
100%.
Yeah, man. So I guess if we were older folk right now, if we were older and we say we was in our let's say 30, 38, 40, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 36, right? And we're in 2025, 36. Are you looking to buy a home right now? Are you looking to get where do you think you're looking to get a home, or how do you think you're going about investing into your living situation?
How, I think low key, it would still be the same, man. I'm going somewhere stupid far, right? 2040. It really depends on what the market is talking about, right? So say 2025, say we're in 2045, right? 2025, uh, there was this property that I was looking at and it cost 10 million, right? And I'm like, now I'm thinking 2045. I remember when this was 10 million. Now it's, you know what I'm saying? Now it's two. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking that deal because I know the upside is insane. So don't let me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, market's down, or even if it was like in the middle ground, you know what I'm saying? It's not 10, right? But it's 4.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
still think that's a grab because of where it was at a time, what it could do in the future. It's
I
an
see.
asset at the end of the day, right?
I see. So your route would be taking your route would just be getting buying land at a discounted price. Any land that you can find right now at a discounted price. It doesn't even matter if it's hella expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good route, right? Grab what you can, right? Take what you can get type of thing.
Exactly.
Take what you can get type of thing. Yeah, I'm on the same type of timing, man. It wouldn't even be about the dopest house, right? It would just be about having the land as an asset and a home on top of that. But I need to be able to. I need to, this needs to be going up in value. It needs to be an investment for sure. So yeah, I hear that. I don't care if I gotta move
Absolutely.
3 hours out from the city, and I'm going to. In our situation, I don't care if I'm going to Eastern Washington, right? I gotta go get this land.
Right.
I gotta go out. Even if I rent it out and I don't want to live there, and whatever case it be, but I gotta go. I think the most important asset you could focus on as a elderly person, stocks and crypto is cool, but if you can get you some land or get a property, man, you pass up. I personally believe you pass up a lot of people with just that. With just that.
Especially if you structure it right, man. You can't even lose, right? Like it's really your property.
Yeah, it has to be structured right for sure. Yeah, yeah, having your own property, man. That you can't go wrong with that. Uh, Moving on, man. You got anything else you want to say before we move on?
Nah, not specifically. You did say that there wasn't really a place that you was looking for in the sense of like knowing exactly where, right? But just like the climate type of vibe, like not specifically a state, but what does the weather need to look like for you to, that's a determiner. What's the weather got to look like for you to, say this is the place where I want to go, where I want to, station
Yeah,
at.
truthfully, I'd probably, if I'm talking about a state, I'd really probably go to Texas. I would prefer to go to Texas. Like, I'd probably go to Texas and
Yeah,
grab me some good land, and also because of the weather, right? I love Texas weather, man. I like the sun. Texas be hot, but I like the sun, man. I'd rather be too hot than too cold, especially year round. It's dope to wake up to the sun, So I would take that, and I'd just go get some land out there, man, because you can get a good bang for your buck out there.
hell yeah, Mississippi too. In that case too, we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying, heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two for sure. I got this Aristotle clip that I want us to view real quick that I think would be dope to pull up.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I mean, and we can talk about how we feel about it. You can see it and hear it. I mean, you can see it. Hold on a second.
And we got to be doing some business. And you always the type to be like, bro,
I
I
can't hear.
don't
Yep.
feel like doing this shit. I'll do it tomorrow. Or I'm like, bro, I'm really trying to go do something. You like, yeah, bro, I'm tired. A long day. If you one of them type niggas, you gonna rub off on me. So I notice I get a lot of work done just being by myself. And like, I'm not trying to be friends with everybody. With everybody. I'm talking about like, it gotta be some value based shit.
Always.
Because it's like people like to force their ideologies on you if you be around them too long. And I feel like if I got here and it was successful, I gotta listen to me. I don't like to hang around niggas I don't want to think like. If I don't like your mindset, I can't be around you. And it's no offense. It's just a nigga don't want to be influenced by it. Let's just say me and you partners, right? And we got to be doing some business. And you always the type to be like, bro, I don't feel like doing this shit. I'll do it tomorrow. Or I'm like, bro, I'm really trying to go do something. You like, yeah, bro, I'm tired. A long day. If you one of them type niggas, you gonna rub off on me. So I notice I get a lot of work done just being by myself. And like, I'm not trying to be friends with everybody.
Nobody. Me, period.
With everybody. I'm talking about like, it got to be some value based shit.
Always.
Because it's like people like to force their ideologies on you if you be around them too long. And I feel like if I got here and it was successful, I gotta listen to me. I don't like to hang.
All right, bet. You had heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah. My take on that is he's 100% right because it's like not only do you reap what you sow, right? So you know what I'm saying, birds of a feather. So if I'm around, you know what I'm saying, a first go getter, and we're going, you know what I'm saying, sightseeing, we're doing all the things that we dream of, right? But I get around another bro who would like to do the same things as us, but let's say he has an addiction of some sort. Maybe he's addicted to his phone, right? Maybe he's addicted to pleasing other people, right? Maybe he's addicted to something that would deter me from the goal. It's really hard to get to it will influence as well as deter me as well from getting to going to go see, you know what I'm saying, the Eiffel Tower in Paris. It's a lot harder to do what I want to do because I got bro here who don't know or is uncertain of what he is capable of, right? And so he's kind of, I wouldn't say it's dragging down, but it's definitely like a like a barrier, right? Like a stop in the road or something that you have to maneuver around or not deal with, and as a whole, not
Yeah.
maneuver in any capacity.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely thought it was a dope video, especially for coming from Aristotle. We both look up to him in the investing space. But yeah, man, it's we've had plenty of conversations on this, and this was probably one of the hardest parts of our journey. Really, really finding your people, right? And being
Yeah.
okay with being alone until you find your people. Like that's something I had to pick up on. It's okay to be alone until other people find you, or until you become developed enough to be around the people that you want to be around.
Right.
But like you said, man, birds of a feather, they flock together, man. So I used to, personal story real quick, man. I used to hang around the wrong crowd, but I had a good mindset. But I used to think that my mindset would overpower the 5 dudes that I was hanging around that didn't have my mindset, right? long story short, all I did was get negatively affected, like you were just talking about, because um, whoever you hang around, right, you end up attaching to the same things that they are attached to, right? So um, I ended up picking on the same habits, picking up on the same negative, language, negative, low vibrations, way of life, man, all because of my proximity, man. And
Right.
I had to separate from the proximity. I mean, you had to separate from the proximity. We had to separate from proximity, man. And that's why we even built Full Circle Wealth, so we can create a proximity for not only us but others, man. So it's important, very important, that you surround yourself around like-minded people, man, because energy is real, right? So something that I had to realize too is you got two people and you got two people and you got their energy, right? It's either one person's energy gonna be stronger than the other. That's what influence is. So if I'm not so locked in on my identity, I'm gonna let this other person who's locked in on their identity influence me, right? So this is a perfect example. I use myself, right? So if I got a partner and my friend is indulging in low level activity, right? But I want to indulge in high level activity and low level activity at the same time, right? I'm going to be, his low level activity is gonna overpower mine when I'm with him, because I haven't really established who I completely am yet, but he has. He don't know nothing about high level activity. All he knows is low level activity. So he's locked in on this. So when I get around this friend and
Right.
he's locked in on that, it's either I either locked in on that or I get us locked in on something else, right? So you gotta be you than the other, stronger than the other person is being them, right? You gotta be you better than the other person is being them, right? So yeah, nah, this was definitely dope. So I guess my question, what kind of mindsets do you avoid? Should we avoid being influenced by?
Um, that stuck mindset, man. That you just thinking that there is no, this is the end all be all, right? That is what I can't tolerate, right? That's because just like you were saying, like that low vibrational. It gets to a point where it's like, how can I even operate? And then touching up on what you said specifically, you having a battle your high profile or high functioning mentality opposed to low functioning mentality, and just having that like having that collision of two different worlds, right? It's a mental strain because you have to be somebody that you're not and somebody that you're trying to be. So that leaves you right in the neutral zone, right? And it gets to the point where your mindset is being influenced. That's very straightforward, right? But like literally, you know what I'm saying? It's easier done than said, even because some people don't even realize and aware enough to like take a few steps back and say this is what is the problem, or this is what is stopping me from getting to where I would like to be, right? And so just having that stuck mindset of, damn, I'm here. Uh, how can I do this, that, and the third? Um, you know what I'm saying? And just I don't know how, right? You know what I'm saying? And not doing the things and taking the proper measures to get out of that stuckness and feel like you are the, you know what I'm saying, great person said person is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that stuck mentality is real, man. You gotta stay away from that, man. I we was so actually yesterday when we was recording an episode of the podcast of the Blueprint Table, and one of the dudes had said that somebody had said that he saw an episode. So he was basically like, man, the dude that works in the garage was like, oh, I saw an episode, and the dude in the garage was like, I think you guys should talk about how hard it is entrepreneur wise in the city, right? So we had talked about being an entrepreneur and having a 9 to 5, right? And then the guy was like, I think we should talk about how hard it is to be an entrepreneur. And that's just that stuck mindset, right? Because
Yeah.
why would we spend 30 minutes to an hour sitting up talking about how hard something is when something's very much possible, right? So it's definitely,
Exactly.
you got to
Don't
stay
let bro
away.
see this.
Don't, you got to stay away from people who is stuck, man. Who got that stuck mindset. So,
Right.
to touch up on that, another one that I would suggest is, well, what's another one? What's another one I would suggest? On top of the stuck mindset, I would say I would say maybe a procrastination mindset, right? Somebody who's a I'll do it later type of thing. That's kind of what he was saying. That's what
Yeah.
Aristotle was saying. Only because it's the little things that you pick up on. It's the little things that matter the most. So if I'm with somebody who ends up being an I'll do it later type of person, right, and that's all they do, I'll eventually end up having that rub off on me, and I'll do it later. Another one that I have in mind that I used to
Exactly.
be affected by too is personally. I was trying to think of something that's real personal. It's something that really kind of threw me off my whole journey of self improvement when I was like 18, 19. I was really trying to do right, but I had people who was like 20, 21 around me on some like, man, you're young, you have time. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so I'm really trying to save my bread. I'm really trying to not spend money on goofy stuff. I kind of like just the right stuff, right? But I
Right.
see so many people around me who are older, and they prioritize the low level stuff, and they're telling me you got time, and I ended up surrounding myself around so many people like that I ended up giving in. So I started blowing my check, right? I started blowing my check and leaving myself with $200, but I spent $800 on this outfit because everybody else do it, right? I started going out on the weekends and spending money that I really didn't have, but because I only live once and I'm young, I'm gonna do it anyway, right?
Right.
Um, I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff just because I'm young, so I would stay away from that mindset of that
Absolutely.
kind of lines up with the procrastination mindset too. But like, if you're young, yes, it's important for you to have fun, but one thing that I would suggest is do not let yourself get on pilot mode, right? Don't let yourself just only think about the fact that you got time and it's time to have fun, right? You can work and play at the same time, man. So yeah. Anything else you got to
Oh
say
yeah.
specifically?
Yeah, just touching up on that procrastination thing, there was a time earlier in this year where, you know what I'm saying, before even creating Full Circle Wealth, that there was like there was a time where I was a procrastinator, top tier, like not even finna sit here and, you know what I'm saying, top tier procrastinator, I'll do it later. And like a kind of like a mantra that helped me was just throughout the day, like not even in the process of getting a task done or doing something specific, but I would just tell myself like over and over, just do it now. Right? That was my saying, just do it now. Do it now. I repeat it maybe like, you know what I'm saying, 20, you know what I'm saying, 10, 20 times, 30 times to the point where it's instilled, right? Subconsciously, I'm not talking to me, I'm talking to my mind, right? It's deeper than just me saying it. It's me getting to the point where I understand that this is a problem that I'm having, and then just a quick fix. Like it all starts with how you operate in the first place. So I was telling myself, do it now, 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 and and it got to the point where I wouldn't even need to say do it now. It's there, right? Subconsciously, because like I said, I wasn't talking to me, I was talking to my mind, and
Mm-hmm.
making it to the point where it is the normal. Like for example, just like we were talking about, kind of like not related but related. You were talking about how you don't even use alarm clocks no more because your body is just so used to getting up real early in the morning. You know what I'm saying, and getting exactly what you need to do, planning out the day, all of that, right? And so just having that habit, you know what I'm saying, do it now, do it now. That's live in the flesh. Perfect example right here. You know what I'm saying, both of us, but
Yeah.
specifically, you know what I'm saying, the alarm clock module. You know what I'm saying? It's yeah,
Nah, for
do
sure,
it now.
man. Yeah, yeah. Do it now, and it's training. When you train your brain, it becomes instilled. It becomes clockwork. So I hear that. That's a good mantra. It's easy. It's those simple things that can help with results so much. Just telling yourself, just rewiring in your brain. Instead of hearing "I'll do it later," do it now.
Right.
You were so used to hearing "do it later," and I was the same way. I was used to hearing "do it later." I'll do it 2 days from now, whatever the case is, and it goes from doing that. You get used to doing it now. So that's what's up. My last question is
Yeah.
what do you think is one belief society pushes that you personally reject?
Um, not gonna lie, as of lately, consumerism. I have been to the. It's been to the point where I have gotten like uh opposite FOMO, right? Like I see somebody else with it, and it'll make me not want to do it because if you're doing it your way, right? So like specifically going to spend the whole check, just like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
I know, bro, and my other coworker went to go spend their check on them NBA YoungBoy concert because they want to sit at the floor, but just my mindset specifically, it's like I could go spend this 800 at this concert, just sit on the floor and watch this man perform, or I could go buy some Flair. 800 Flair, you get like 800 Flair, you get like maybe 30,000 tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let Flair even get to $1. I'm up 300 bands. You see what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
like so. Just the fact, just consumerism as a whole. I personally reject that so hardly. Like if that was if I had to break down to somebody what the first thing of getting right looks like, right? It is to do it now, and it's like that. The number one spot is to do it now, and the consumerism. As soon as you get out of that bubble of I could buy it because I got it, man. Top tier. Saving your money, put it in the right place,
Yeah, man. No,
man.
it's something that I think everybody should get to a point where they just got that mindset, man. Cause once you get unleashed from that consumerism, your life is just so free. Like I just remember being the
Right.
type of dude who was like, man, nah, I gotta spend this bag. I gotta spend this much money on this so I could walk around like this. Because I'm afraid to walk around looking like not that I don't,
That.
just yeah, like just literally, man. I didn't want to be mistaked as a regular nigga or a didn't have it type of guy, But I had to really
Yeah.
sit back and like we perfect example of the psychology of money, man. The person who's wealthy is really wealthy because he's not out here trying to flex his wealth, right?
Exactly.
And the person who's out here trying to flex his wealth and look good for people who don't care, I mean, that's the person who's really broke inside, So inside and outside,
Yeah.
shit. So I had to reject, that consumerism as well, and it's been so freeing, man. Because this year has been it's only been 1 year since I've truly rejected consumerism, like
Right.
I've always wanted to go this hard, but now it's to the point where like I'm okay with leaving, investing a good amount of my money and just only having $10 for a day to eat. I'm okay with that. It gives me more confidence knowing I got the bag being invested than knowing I got the bag all up in my pocket. I was talking with a dude at work, right, and he was like he said something along the lines of he needs more money to invest or something like that, right? And I was telling him about the plan of putting 10% away each time you get paid, or sacrificing certain things. And I was telling him how during the times where I wanted to invest more money, I would lock my money in the Robinhood account on the weekends and have myself have nothing but $50 over the weekend and have my money invested because I knew I couldn't pull it out over the weekend on Robinhood.
Absolutely.
So I tell him these things and give him a suggestion, right? And he's like, you know what, those are good ideas, such and such, such and such. And then he comes back with me and he says, but I like to have cash. I'm like, bro, we're in 2025. What are you walking around with paper in your pocket anyway? If it's not a couple dollars from the ATM you just came from, I mean, you talking about you like to have cash. You want to keep a loaf in your pocket? I'm like, that's so 1960s, man. So
Like what we doing?
man, so I'm just
She's
saying,
spending
man.
it on.
So another thing is, man, we don't even gotta go deep into that, but I kind of understood because bro's a gambler and he spends a lot of his time at the casino. But you can't spend a lot of time as a gambler at the casino and then say you want to invest more money. I mean, you're gonna be a consumer or you're
You're
gonna be an
right.
investor, right? You gotta choose. So I brought that up to say, are you gonna be a consumer or are you gonna be an investor, right? Would you rather be the guy who wants more money in his pocket so he can feel like it's tangible and he got money, or would you rather be the guy that just puts it up in the stock market and knows that it's working for him? right? So
Right.
everybody got their preferences. On top of the belief that I reject in society is I reject I reject the society definition of fun, right? Um, Society defines fun as indulging in low vibrational things, right? You know, drinking, smoking, going out to the club, and getting drunk with your friends, and maybe going to chase girls or chase men if you're a girl. You know, whatever the case may be. I reject that definition of fun, even if it's sitting up watching Netflix and whatever the case may be. I reject all of that just because to get where we want to go, there balance is you're going to be working more than you have fun. You're going to be doing more things that are getting you to where you want to go that would be considered work to somebody else, but it would be play to us, right? So the way we get on here on Wednesday, every Wednesday, right, and sacrifice an hour or two to talk about these high level topics, that's play to us, but somebody else would be looking like, man, these are my days off from my job, from my 9 to 5. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. I'm sleeping in. I'm going out, right? When I get home from work, I'm not really about to open up this computer. I'm not about to watch a video or so and do what I can. I'm about to just hit this
I'm on
booze,
2K.
and I'm on 2K, and I'm every day. So it's about I always reject that definition of fun because it's like, man, the time is there to get to where you want to go. You just got to sacrifice, man. And I also don't subscribe to the fact that to get to where you want to go, you have to do everything. You have to do just you have to only work and not have any fun. I'm not about that either. I think you can find that balance and just here's the thing. No, there is no balance. There is no 50-50. You got a 70-30 with it. You know what I mean? You got a 80% work, 20% play. So 70% work, 30% play. So you're either choosing to have fun or you choosing to work towards your goal, which is fun. Change your life is fun. So yeah, I reject that.
Yeah, I feel that. And like another question just to build off of that, right? Because it takes a while to, not a while, but it takes like a specific type of not only mindset, but like a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like structure as a whole to even have that type of thought process, right? And so, um, how do you like keep from, you know what I'm saying, relapsing into, you know what I'm saying, 50-50 rather than, I mean, how do you stop yourself from going from 50-50 fun and maintaining 80-20, 70-30, how do you do that?
Uh, Really, truthfully, I have I have fun. Like when I feel like I'm burnt out, and I feel like uh, something in me needs a break, I go and I have fun. But even the fun that I have has a limit, if that makes sense. Am I answering the question right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like even the fun that I have has limits. The same way that when I get on this computer, I'm only on here for like let's say 2 to 4 hours a day. I'm not gonna burn myself out anymore past that unless that's how I'm feeling. But but when I go out and I have fun, that's only gonna last like say that's lasting like 2 hours as well, right? I have enough time to make sure that my mind gets clear off whatever it is that I'm trying to work on type thing, so I can get back to the drawing board type. Yeah,
Nah, I feel that.
yeah, yeah,
Being
yeah.
aware to even have that in your mind, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like whatever it is
Top
that
tier.
you can't, whatever it is that the person can do, to take their mind off of the work. Whether that's going out, whether you going to take a drink and take a shot, you going to smoke some weed with your friend, right? You going to take a walk around the water. You going to kick it with your girl, or you going out to kick it with the girl that you found on the dating app. Whatever you need to do, but then do it enough to the point where when you come back, you ready to work again. So that's where I would say Yeah, yeah, yep, yep. Um, Anything else before we move on to your segment, bro?
Nah, yeah, that was it.
Yeah, bet. So how you
Yeah,
want to
getting
do?
in.
Say what?
Yeah, you got the questions on the screen, so let's just do it like that. If you had to strip down just one master, if you had to strip life down and master one strategy, what would it be? And
Man,
if I could go first, if you
yeah.
if you want some
If
time
you
to
already
think
got
about it.
it, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, if I could strip it down right, and I could just master just one theme, is just one, yeah, one thing is discipline, right? Being still like water. Like if I was Bruce Lee, discipline mindset, man,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing stopping me, right? Living living still, you know what I'm saying? Living calm, living at peace. Those are all like kind of what I'm pointing towards, but discipline specifically is something that I would want to master, right? Like 10,000 hours plus, right? Actually mastering discipline,
Yeah,
top tier.
yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Um, I think mine might be the art of focus. Like along, it kind of goes along with discipline. But if I could just have the mastery of focus, like in every situation, every conversation, I'm able to like focus and get the most out of it. Or maybe retainment is what I'm looking for. Like if I could have the mastery of just being able to retain information as soon as we speak, or retain information the first time I hear it, uh,
Yeah,
yeah, no, that would definitely be dope. That would be dope for sure. That's a good question.
for real.
That's a good question. That's a good question. How do you keep
A
from?
Netherlands, yo, yeah,
I,
my
I
fault,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
ask the next question, but no, go ahead. If you we can keep going on this one. Another
I
lens.
was
What?
no, I was gonna say another lens, kind of like the same thing but different. What habit have you built that you say is a strategy in disguise?
Oh, what? Which habit have you built that you would say is a strategy in disguise?
To go deeper, to like get a better grasp of the question, it's more of like, what have you done specifically to further your growth, right? To like in brain time, right? Like less uh thinking, right? Less, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, talk shit. Talk to the camera and talk to people. I would say, are two habits that I built that became strategies in disguise. Like that is a strategy in disguise. Like talking to the camera is a habit that I built. Content creation, and that habit, building that habit, led me to being able to talk to people just as much as I can talk to the camera. Um, and that's been a strategy in disguise because it just helps me stay sharp in my communication, and it's the only thing. It's the thing that gave me confidence in communicating. Shit, I didn't have no confidence before I started talking to the damn mirror and the camera. That's why I started talking to
Right.
the mirror and the camera. Damn, I just realized. Yeah, yeah. That's why. How about you?
See? Mine is journaling and kind of like goal making. Um, Getting into the habit of just like you were saying, like you talking to the camera. I'm talking to the camera is me writing it down in my journal, right? And trying to decipher what exactly I'm feeling in the capacity of getting things done or having goals, right? And so like just the time to take having to take the time out of the day to sit down and really just be focused on the pen and paper. You know what I'm saying? And it's helped me be a lot more when it comes to having like being a strategy in disguise. It's put me into the direction of like laser focus, right? So if I have my goal and I put it out for me when I before I go to bed, and I wake up to it before I go and I wake up to it before I open up my computer. I know exactly what I'm looking forward to, right? I know exactly what I'm getting up to do and preparing to do for that day specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that is my strategy in disguise.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You know, journaling becoming in clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a habit that I need to do more of. Actually
But
writing
it's
it
low
down.
key. That's exactly what you're doing. It's just more, yeah. But writing. That's what I was gonna say. It's the same type of communicating with yourself, right? It's kind of like focus driven, when we're on things in spaces like this. But when it comes to
Yeah.
you, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, breaking down how you feel about something, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, it's the same type of journaling,
For sure. Yeah, no,
visual.
it's just important to have that. It's just important to have that relationship with self, man. You know, you gotta be able to. You gotta be able to have a relationship with self better than you got a relationship with anybody else, man. That's the only way you can have a good relationship with
Right.
anybody else. Literally, literally.
Exactly.
How we coming next, man? Which one you choose? Which one you want to get into next?
Um, I see the second one, but I feel like that kind of like is a that's kind of like a stuck question. I didn't realize that when I had figured this out, right? I'll say it though. How do you keep from overthinking strategy and falling into paralysis by analysis? Um, it's kind of like a that sounds like I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? If I were to be answering that question and give you like a intake, that has to be like one of those things that I have to. I'm feeling like right.
Mm-hmm.
That 70-30 is what you know what I'm saying is the overall mindset. So me asking that question is more like a you know what I'm saying I'm trying to get back to where I'm at or something. I don't know.
No, no, I hear. How
Or
do
where
you
I want to
keep
be.
from
You know, it doesn't sound
overthinking?
like a
Yeah, no, it's one of them things where it's like when you say how do you keep from overthinking the strategy, it's like it's still something I deal with now. Like I don't like you saying like you probably don't
right.
deal with overthinking or falling back into paralysis analysis. I guess you know that we do have those temptations. Paralysis by analysis. You know, personally, how basically I'll just answer how I keep from falling back into paralysis by analysis. Basically, how I keep myself from stalling before putting the work in on something is like Jamel was, I mean, Flash was saying earlier, do it now. But instead of like, okay, boom, I'm learning how to build websites, right? And I've been meaning to do this like draft website and work on it and start it for like the last like 3 days, right? But I didn't start it until last night, super late. But the thing that got me to be able to do it and stay at it for 2 hours plus was the fact that I said I'm just about to do this for 30 minutes. I'm just about to set a timer for 30 minutes, and that's that, right? Progress is progress. But while I was setting that time, while in the middle, before the 30 minutes was over, I was already deep into the focus. So I realized it, and an hour had passed by. So then I was already not done, and I had to set another timer, another timer. So I just did I just started with the little amount, which got me into it built momentum, and I used that momentum to carry forward. So if you struggling with paralysis by analysis, and saying you don't want to go to the gym or you stuck, you feel like you want to go to the gym, shit, tell yourself you ain't gonna do nothing but walk on the treadmill, and that's it. You finna go up. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna sit on my phone and look at people. That's it. And next thing you know, you gonna pick up a weight because you feel you got
Right.
momentum. You know, you gonna end up in the sauna. That's what I used to do too. I didn't want to go to the gym. Shit, I'm about to just go sit on the sauna and sit in the sauna and sit on my phone. Right after 10, 15 minutes in the sauna, now I'm about to go hit the workout. You know, so yeah. You got any tips personally?
I just wanted to touch on that, and that's like the difference between being busy, right, and being strategic, right? Because you could you could have sat there for the fourth day and was like, nah, I'm not doing, you know what I'm saying? But rather just this literally being. It started doing. It started with being as small as let me do this for 30 minutes, right? Which led to an hour and a half plus, right? 2 hours of you doing exactly what you wanted to do, just didn't know how to start or whatever the case may be. And so that right there is a prime difference because you could have instead of making yourself busy, right? It was more of how can I plan to do this the right way and
Mm-hmm.
then get exactly what I need to do done. And yeah, just having that sitting in the front of your mind is going to set you aside from, you know what I'm saying, those low vibrational people. You know what I'm saying? It's just getting to the point of realizing what is good for you and your mental capacity rather than just, you know what I'm saying, living, you know?
Yeah.
May helping you plan strategically. Like that 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? That might be something that needs to be, you know what I'm saying, broadcasted more often when it comes to how 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 we push like a certain agenda, right? That's what I'm saying. Like how to that 30 minutes is all it takes, right? Because then it could lead you to somewhere else doing
Mm.
within the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, honestly, and
Yeah.
I've been using that for, yeah, it is something to look into because I use that for my workouts now too. So I've been so focused on business, it's been harder to just kind of bring myself to work out. It feels more like a chore. So instead of I'm not gonna go in there for an hour. Let me just go up in there and hit 30 minutes straight. You know what I'm saying? Hit my 30 minutes straight, break my sweat, and stay consistent, and I'm out. And that's definitely been helping me. It gets after 30 minutes. After this right here, I mean, I ain't did my workout today because I've been procrastinating, but I meant to do it before, but I didn't have the time, so I'm about to go after we get off this call, hit the 30 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Being strategic. So, I want to actually tackle this: why strategy beats hustle in business growth. Um, I think that
Yeah.
we could personally speak from experience, right? Because building full circle wealth, we started hustling. We started with just our brute force hustle and just the fact that we wanted to do something. We didn't have much strategy, but at the same time, I mean, we didn't really feel like we needed it because we were just trying to start and see what we needed to do. So I think, what I'm trying to get at is hustle gets you so far, right? Hustle only gets you so far. But when you build a strategy, that's what keeps you in the game and keep it longevity, right? So hustle got us so far, but then in the middle of us hustling, we had to figure out, oh, what can we do? What can we do to build a strategy so that we can be here every week with the most amount of energy that we have, right, and maximize it the best
Right.
way that we can, right? And what can we do to build other things so that we don't feel like we're hustling or just being busy, right? And we got growth in the business and we got strategy, right? So strategy beats hustle because long story short, strategy is longevity, man. Strategy is what keeps you in the game, man. Um,
Right.
that's what I got, man. What you got?
Yeah, yeah, because playing the game is different than, you know what I'm saying, knowing how to play the game, right? Just being a what would you call it? Not a spectator, but just just someone watching. Not watching, but like just someone that is going with the flow rather than having, you know what I'm saying, knowing the rule book, right? Like that's just like Monopoly specifically. Knowing the rules rather than just rolling the dice. You know what I'm saying? Top tier. And it gets to a point where, you can have all these monopolies on the board, right? You got hotels on every spot, on every, you know what I'm saying, every on railroads, whatever the case may be, right? It just sets the difference between um, strategy and hustle, right?
Yeah.
And to speak on our situation specifically, we really did start just off a humbug. Like this is something that we wanted to do, right? And so we had the drive to just get it done rather than having the plan to really having to, you know what I'm saying, figure it out. So then we start implementing uh, important pieces to our puzzle, which then led us to where we are today, right? Because it started with Wealth Wednesdays, and that just be something that we come together every hour. I mean, every week for an hour for. You know what I'm saying? Now, after that, we start reading books, right? And then read two whole books, right? Got all the we got different types of game, right? Then we're here on the Twitch, and now we're live, right? Anybody can tap in right now, so it's just like having that plan. We're already hustlers from the jump, and so like we're already gonna go with how we're gonna go with it. But now that we have this plan and like just structure with everything that we do, unstoppable, man. We're look where we are, right? Just
For
8 months
sure.
ago, not even eight, bro. Like not even 8 months ago, we was trying to figure out how we was gonna do this, right? And we're here.
Nah, we're
right?
here.
So
Yeah,
just like you were saying, hustle outbeats or strategy outbeats hustle every time.
yeah. But hustle gonna get you started. Hustle, you gotta get you started. You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
we could have been them guys who mapped out a strategy for a whole year. We could have mapped out a whole year plan. We would have spent a whole year mapping out a whole year plan, and when we started to implement the whole year plan, right, we didn't have any hustle. We was counting on just this strategy and this plan to go the exact way we wanted to go. But when it didn't, we didn't have any hustle to make sure that we can maneuver, right? So if you somebody
Right.
starting right now and you looking to start and you got that, because paralysis by analysis comes from focusing on the plan so much, right? A lot of successful people would tell you, man, have a plan. And actually, we learned this in psychology. Being more psychology of money, sorry. Being more adaptable to a plan is better than having a plan itself. Because 9 times out of 10, when you create that plan, it's definitely not going to go the exact way you thought it was going to go. So what's more important is you being able to pivot.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. So,
We've
what
been
we got?
yeah, yeah.
You want to tackle the rest of these? What we got? We got an hour 20. How you feeling? You want to keep going? We could wrap it up soon.
There was only one more, but it was more of a statement. The difference between reacting to life and strategically responding to it, and kind of what we just went over. It was more niche towards the Discord and like full circle wealth, but yeah, we kind of like touched on it a little bit. I can give a quick statement. The difference between reacting to life is like playing Monopoly and not knowing the rules, right? Like you going into a setting and you wanting to or even let's say um, handling business, right? Say I parked in the city, right, and I had hella parking tickets that I needed to pay, and I knew that if I wanted to park in the city without getting told, that I would need to pay my parking tickets. So my two paths is right here. I got react to it or strategically plan and respond to it the right way. So strategically respond to it. So reacting to it is like me keep continuing to rack up tickets. You know what I'm saying? Not doing taking care of business, and then responding to it the right way. Strategically responding to it is coming up, calling the you know what I'm saying, DOL, like hey, or the Washington State, whatever. I'm calling them guys like, hey, I want to build a plan on how I can work on paying these parking tickets so that I can, not get told, right? And that right there, yeah.
For sure, that's a good
You
example.
you got an example like that?
I like the example you already touched on, man. Reacting to life and
Oh yeah, see
responding
bang.
strategically. Yeah. Reacting to life is literally what you said, man. Like, you are you're letting life hit you, and you taking it, and you not doing anything to change. You're not doing anything to change the results that you're getting, right? But when you strategically respond,
Right.
you let life hit you, and you figure out a way to strategically respond to the hit. And I don't want to say it like that because I mean that's literally what it's saying. But you find a way to take a step back, gather your emotions, and be intelligent enough emotionally to make the best decision that's best for you in a moment where you're feeling like life's against you, right? Yeah, man. Let me see. We could hit two. We could hit one or two of these and close it out on this, man. So I got
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
ChatGPT coming with a few examples, thought provoking questions, man. So if you had to delete your social media apps, man, your social apps except one, all of them, which one do you keep and why? I'm gonna go first because I was kind of talking about this earlier with myself. I was talking about this with ChatGPT actually. I was telling them that something about TikTok just feels very performative, very fake, very just not authentic. Like it feels like a circus. it just feels like a whole bunch of people are on here trying to display every single highlight reel of their life in a aesthetic way, right? For likes and views, you know what I'm saying? And that just it feels
Yeah.
it don't really sit well with me, right? So I was just sitting there like, man, why do I feel more? I'm like I'm like Instagram feels different than TikTok, and I'm like if I feel at home on Instagram, then how do I feel at TikTok? And he was like, man, TikTok makes you feel like a circus, man, because you got all these people and you got all these different personalities, and they all putting on this image, while Instagram feels more like home because, well, it's more about who you are, it's more about your brand, your personality, and what you stand for. While TikTok is just like what you look like. So if I had to delete all of them except one, I'm not gonna count YouTube as a social media app because it's a little different. But I'm gonna keep Instagram.
Yeah, I feel that, and I feel that same way, right? So I'm just go a different approach on it, and not specifically like a persona type of thing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go. With Snapchat. I delete everything except for Snapchat because that is a place where I can store memories, right? And so I went to the damn. I went to New York, and I have my Snapchat is filled and flooded with just experiences. You know what I'm saying? And so I mean, I have a camera roll, right? So it's like, yeah, that right. I have a camera roll that's better than Snapchat, right? But just in a different lens, you know. I would absolutely Instagram is the only option if we're being realistic, you know what I'm saying? Like
No,
there's
I hear
yeah,
that.
I don't know.
I hear that though because that's a good like a good point with Snapchat. I mean, Snapchat, all these media apps they have their own thing, right? And Snapchat is the only one with the memories and the my
Yeah.
eyes only. Like you can keep memories and they freaking uh they categorize your memories to the right dates and everything, and then they pop it up back to you so you can see your past self and all these type of things. And it's good to have. It's kind of like your own personal social media app, because
Right.
you can go scroll through your memories and see your memories and see all the things that you've done instead of going and see all the other people's memories and what they've done. So yeah, no, that's a good example right there. That's a good example. What would you say?
Yeah.
Now that because you just did recently get back from a New York trip, man. What would you say is the one thing that you learned from your New York trip, or a big
I
takeaway?
learned a big takeaway
Either
from New
either
York.
one, something you learned or a big takeaway.
I got you. What I learned from New York when it comes to just yeah. What I learned from New York is that everyone is different. Um, Everyone has their own set of. I mean, obviously that's like a given, but you gotta. When I was in New York, I got to really see what it looked like when people are living different lives, right? Like when New York is such a big place, but it's very crowded. So there's people that are tourists. There are people that are, you know what I'm saying, that work in the New York Stock Exchange, right? Like there are people who are goal driven that have businesses that are on, you know what I'm saying, in Times Square, right? And so what I've learned specifically is that everyone is different when it comes to what they desire, and New York is the place for you to really get to your real you. If that makes sense. Like there's so many things that you could do, and even be. There's so many things that you can be in New York that it's very it's very you can discover who you are, right? And just seeing how different people are. For me, it opened my eyes to being to like how just how easy it is to discover yourself in another place, right? Really getting to know you, the self, when it comes to dealing with other people and what they, you know, saying have to maybe not only offer but to work with, right? As communicators, or you know what I'm saying, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
adversity. Also, I learned that too. Like when it comes to adversity, the New Yorkers, man, they're like it's so hard to it's easy to define who you are, but it's hard not to replicate somebody else because there's so many people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, um, I had something that I wanted to say, kind of just slipped my mind, like literally in and out. But yeah, just getting to the point where you can discover exactly who you are and what you're good at. I think is what I was gonna say, like niche, what your niche is
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, no, I like that example. I like that point. That's a good point because I felt that on a smaller scale, by just coming out to Seattle. Like I never went to school in the city or like really grew up in the city for real. So like just on the smaller scale, just going to the city and seeing what Seattle is like and how you can just find, like you said, it's so much easier to find yourself in the midst of unfamiliar or just unfamiliar territory. And in the midst of other people being them, like in the city you just see so many people just being them, and in New York it's on a bigger scale. Like you see more weirdos, you see more businessmen, you see more you know people who do art, whatever the case may be. You just see more of people being them. And
Right.
yeah, nah, that's fire. That's fire. That's a good takeaway for sure. um Um, 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 Next one, man. What's more
Yeah,
valuable to you?
that second one.
Yeah, what's more valuable to you, man? Long term money or influence, man? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is a good one, man. Not to do and be like one of those, but like think about the Rothschilds, right? And how their influence when it comes to money and how it's impacted our lives, right? Everyone's lives, right? Whether we like it or not. I'm not gonna go too deep in that, but what I'm saying is just looking at that and then looking at somebody like Malcolm X, who wasn't he didn't have no money, right? He had influence, right? And so that is it's a weird comparison, but what I'm trying to say is the difference between those. Um, Money is the root of all evil in every capacity, right? It's not real, it's not natural. But influence is for me to be able to get into your mind and tell you what is good and what is bad and what I'm saying. That holds a lot more weight than what I'm saying some money does, right? Because so for me personally, I feel like the long term, over the long term, having being influential is more valuable than what I'm saying money is.
I agree. I mean, we live in America, man, and America ain't nothing but it's a perfect example of influence, right? They ain't did nothing but influence the whole world, and once you're able to
Through
capture
money.
through, there you go, through money and um, what I was also trying to get at, their propaganda, right? So with them being able to put a whole bunch of propaganda out into the world, put a whole bunch of belief systems, programs, all these different things, right? It influences a whole nation to believe certain things and to believe, to give and do whatever. So I definitely agree with that. Influence. If you can influence a whole nation of people, you can get whatever you want. But if you can, get into somebody's brain and influence their mind and think one thing and not the other thing, you can get anything that you want, man.
Right. It's kind of like the specifically like his story, right? Breaking that word down, just having that influence over history. You know what I'm saying? The one, yeah, telling his story.
Hmm. Man, last question, man, before we wrap it up, man. If AI automates 80% of jobs, what skills are you betting on?
Not gonna lie, it's kind of be like it's kind of like not a given. It's a arguable point, low key, but communication, um, like right jobs, right? You can have an AI that can get on and you can have like a telemarketer type of AI, but I guess I took the wrong approach to this question. What skill would you bet on? I think you can train an AI to do a lot of communicating for you. as well as planning. So like administration skills all over. You know, um, what I was gonna say is just scratch the jobs, right? If AI took over 80% of our lives, being able to communicate is top tier, like sign language. The AI would need a camera, you know what I'm saying, to have you understand what you're saying when you sign, right? And so just communicating that was my approach. I don't know how to, you know what I'm saying. It's not really in there, but uh, shit, HVAC, being on the electrician, you know what I'm saying, plumbing. Those are skills and trades that will never leave. They have to, you know what I'm saying? Everyone needs shelter in a home. And so, yeah, you can absolutely depend on trades of that capacity.
Yeah, man. Um, I'm thinking about being like an automation engineer or I have something else in mind. Like an automation engineer, learn just engineering the stuff that's being automated, so when it goes wrong, you're able to do what you need to do. And even a AI, like forget being a software engineer, an AI engineer, right? Learn how to just go dig in and work on the AI the same way somebody would go dig in and work on the code. And yeah. No, I would just say just an AI engineer in general, because all you're doing at that point is you're engineering the AI to do whatever it is that you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So those are the skills that I bet
Yeah.
on. I ain't even gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not looking at nothing else, man. Or I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't look at much because that's just like the best route you can do for yourself.
Yeah, hell yeah. Just having the ability to, you know what I'm saying, guide the software, top tier.
Yeah, yeah, man. But other than that, man, you got anything else you want to wrap it up with?
Yeah, man. Shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Full Circle Wealth, man. Shout out Flask. Coming at you with another Wealth Wednesdays, man. Live stream Twitch, right? Just being here, you know what I'm saying? This is what we doing. Top tier, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's nothing. Just like you're saying, that fun being in the process, being living within the process of creating is a fun and a type of dopamine that I didn't know existed, right? Like me being a part of my very creation is outstanding, and a lot of people would never get the chance to even feel what this feels like, right? So shout out to you, man. Shout out me. Shout out Full Circle Wealth, man.
Hey, yes, sir, man.
Yeah,
Shout out Full Circle Wealth, man. Full Circle Wealth. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. And, follow us on Instagram at Full Circle Wealth. I believe it's Full Circle Wealth _ And stay tuned for next Wednesdays. Follow the Twitch as well. With that being said, man, we about to end this stream and see y'all next week.